Have you ever done something for someone and felt really good after? Why do you think that is? I think it's because God made us to serve. Matthew 20:28 states it pretty clearly. Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. Another spiritual discipline and practice that Jesus modeled for us was service. In a society today that's all about me and do what makes you feel good, serving others can be a challenge. Yet that's not only what Jesus told us to do, it's what he showed us we should do. In the days before his crucifixion, Jesus could have understandably been focused on himself. He knew what was coming. He could have spent his time feeling sorry for himself or angry at others for what he had to do. Instead, he continued to focus on serving others. We see this happen at the Last Supper in John 13:3. Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power, and that he had come from God and was returning to God. So he got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that was wrapped around him. The disciples were confused and uncomfortable, so Jesus then went on to explain it to them. When he had finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and returned to his place. "Do you understand what I have done for you?" he asked them. "You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. Very truly I tell you, no servant is greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. Now that you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them." Jesus didn't just tell them what to do, he showed them. But he also clearly tells us, "I have set an example for you that you should do as I have done for you." Serving others can be an extremely fulfilling experience, and sometimes a sacrificial one. In the past 2 years, we have taken 2 teams of FCers to Costa Rica on a missions trip. Both teams served the children and families of the Hope Center, and it was such an amazing experience for everyone who went. No one came back the same. We were all touched by the joy and hope that the children at the Hope Center have. We know that their hope comes from God through the people that serve them. It was so amazing to be part of that. We all grew spiritually as we witnessed what God can do. It was also not an easy thing to do. Everyone had to save up their money, leave their families, take time off work, and travel to a foreign country. Yet the blessing we received from being obedient to God's calling to go and serve him far outweighed the sacrifice. As Christ followers, serving is so important and beneficial. Serving allows us to grow in our relationship with Jesus. When we serve, we're being obedient to him. We're also showing God's love to others that ultimately glorifies him. Serving in our church also allows you to use the spiritual gifts and talents that God gave you to glorify his kingdom. At Fellowship, we know that service is a form of worship and honors God by doing for others. We love to see people grow in their faith as they serve, but also to grow in community. There's no better way to get to know people than by serving them or serving alongside them. One of our next steps for new believers and new FCers is to get involved on a serving team. And we have so many of them. Think about the gifts and strengths that God has given you and how you can use them to glorify him. Then take a leap of faith and join a team. Serving God regularly can be a blessing to you and to others. And it's not just something that we have to do at church. How can you serve someone right where you are today? Maybe it's taking a meal to an elderly neighbor who lives alone, or just stopping by to visit them. Maybe it's helping a single parent out by watching their kids so they can have a few minutes to themselves. Maybe it's doing one of your spouse's chores so that they have some time to relax later. Whatever it is, I'm confident that the person you serve will be blessed, and so will you.